There was no strategy for implementing Brexit. There was just a strategy for winning the vote through a combination of bluster and aggression. It was not a positive assertion of sovereignty. It was the culmination of 30 years of an increasingly corrosive scapegoating of Europe and immigrants for the homegrown divisions in British society. Those false prophets who promised an economic bonanza are now claiming that they have defied the critics and Britain is booming. This is nonsense. Public borrowing and taxes have already risen since the vote, and the long-term damage to employment and standards of living is becoming ever more certain. Fundamentally, the narrow Brexit majority represented a rejection of strong rule-based cooperation between states. It asserted a narrow vision of sovereignty, which developed in the 19th century and directly led to the two bloodiest wars in history. Let there be no doubt about where Ireland stands. We want nothing to do with a backward-looking idea of sovereignty. We remain absolutely committed to the ideals of the European Union. We see the Union for what it is, the most successful international organisation in world history. And while the extremes of right and left join together to attack it, they have no credible response to the fact that every member state has secured a significant rise in living standards, and a continent once defined by conflict is today defined by cooperation. The Union is flawed, but its successes are undeniable. Certainly there are different views here. There are those who buy in to the anti-EU narratives, but the overwhelming majority of the Irish people are determined that Ireland's future will remain a European future. It is important for you to understand that Ireland's approach to Europe and to international commitments is deeply intertwined with our national identity. Last year, we marked 100 years since the most important founding event of our republic. The nationalism of the Rising of 1916 and the Proclamation of Independence is a generous one. It defines the Irish nation as having diverse elements and seeks a state which works with others. Our Republican Constitution, adopted in 1937 at a dark moment in world affairs, goes even further and explicitly recognises the role of international law and cooperation. We have no nostalgia for a lost empire and no wish to assert superiority over others.